Hi everyone, this is Peter. Today I want to introduce is this bag. No, okay. So it's the product inside this bag, which is the Sony MCX-500. Okay, so this is the MCX-500. You will see it's super small compact unit, and then for the weight it just only costs about like 5 pounds. It's very lightweight, and also the size is just look like a notebook. So okay, how is the input connections? So this MCX-500 can actually input 4 video input. So from SDI, and also 2 of them is SDI, and then you can choose HDMI too. And at the same time, and then it have audio, because there is a lot of like entry level vision mixer. They can only do video, but they don't do audio. So there will be a hassle that okay, you have like a vision mixer here, and then you have an audio mixer, and then you have to connect this connector, and then it's a lot of hassle. But this one, okay, is all in one. So it's very like portable for a lot of like maybe a quick event. So at the same time, you still got like the multi-view program out totally, and at the same time you will see there is Ethernet here. What is it for? So this MCX-500, they can actually do the live stream, but at this moment this version can only do the Ustream. Hopefully for the firmware upgrade, and then they can do the Facebook Live, YouTube, those kind of more popular like maybe streaming functions. At the same time, they also built in the SD card slot here. So what is it for? If you put on an SD card, and then you can record your program, which is good. For example, like okay, after event, if your clients want to get like a copy, and then maybe okay, fine. So you can just like maybe pull the SD card. Okay, here you are, and then you can unplug the stuff, put it into a backpack, and then okay, it's just go. It's pretty easy. And then everything is just like maybe all in one into one boxes. So okay, for the next part, and then we can see how this functions, how this unit is work. So you will see this MCX-500, there is not too many buttons, but how can we like maybe divide this into different parts? So it's pretty easy. So first, audio, video, special functions, effect. So that is it. So okay, let's talk about like maybe one by one. Okay, audio first. So you see this one is a PGM, so that is a program master audio out. So when I turn this, and then you will see on the multi-screen, and then you will see the audio levels is actually like maybe picking up, and then maybe a drop down. So that is the master. But how can I change on the particular like maybe each program? So you will see the audio access. You will see there is total 4 buttons here, and then a line. So what does it mean? So because like when you input your audio, your video in, most of the situations, and then you will also come with audio. So those audio, you might need to put it into a program, or maybe you can disable it. How can I do that? And then for this MCX-500, you can probably like maybe disable it. For example, like you see this light is on the 1-2, that means I'm using the 1-2 video inputs audio, and then as a program out. So okay, so how can I do that? I press each button, I can choose disable or enable, and then I can change the audio levels, and also I can do the video link, and also the live level. But okay, but this is not working for this prototype first. So okay, I can talk about like more later. So on the line, and then you can do that, and then okay, I can also disable, enable the 4, or maybe at the end I only want to have like maybe a channel 1 as the program out. The channel 2 I want to disable. It's that easy. So anything lights is on, so that means it's actually activate. Okay, so underneath there, and then there is the video pickup. So you will see that is a very normal, common like maybe buttons, which you will see on most, or maybe I can say is all the vision mixers. So you will see there is a 4 input and also a title, because in the internal you can actually put in like the USB, and also you can put on a logo, and then to insert maybe what you need. But because this is a prototype, some function is still not working. So maybe we cannot show you the DSK and also the logo. I'm sorry, but okay, we can show it like maybe once we got the actual unit in January. Okay, so how this work? Pretty easy. First, okay, maybe this I can maybe put on an effect, for example, like a mix, and then okay, I change it into program. So I can do a dissolve. Okay, channel 1 dissolve to channel 2. Auto transit. Okay, fine. Okay, so I can do a slower one. Okay, so sharp cut. Okay, right. Change another shots, and then cut, or maybe dissolve, or maybe I change another effect, okay, something like this one. So the whole setting is very easy, and all the functions, especially on the picking up like the video source, is the similar, and for all the different kind of like visual mixers. So underneath there you will see, okay, there is a access button. What does that mean? As I said, because the video input, you can choose some of them. You can choose, like for example, the first and channel 2, you can choose the SDI or the video input. On the 3 and the 4th input, you can choose the SDI and the HDMI. So that means, okay, how can I choose my correct like input? So it's pretty easy. Press your buttons and then press the access button, and then you can see, okay, for the first channel 1 and channel 2, and then you can choose SDI or video, and also you can enable or disable it. So for the channel 3 and channel 4, and then you can set the HDMI or SDI. So I change it back into the multi-view. Because as I said, the channel 3, I'm using the A7S with the HDMI. So if I choose the SDI, you will see the channel 3 and then is no signal here. So I can change it back, and then you can get the shot, or maybe you can disable the unit, and then which is also fine too. So it's pretty easy. Everything is set into a small screen like that, and then just like with a button. Okay, so I'm already talking about the video and audio. So on underneath here, and then you will see there is 2 big buttons. Okay, so what is that? First one is streaming. At this moment, as I said, the streaming and only support the Ustream. So hopefully in future, and then they can like support more, for example, live stream WhatsApp, especially like YouTube and also Facebook Live. And how can I set this up? And then I will talk it about later, because you might need to do this setting onto the browser, which this is also a reason why I have to put on to a router, but I will talk it about later. Okay, so and then the recording. On the recording, you will see there is several options, for example, like the compression rate, and also, and in here you will see all the informations. Okay, now I'm using the AVC HD 1080 50i FX, which is a 35 megabit per second compression. But on here I can choose like maybe different like format, and then you will see the different. And also it will show you the SD card which you can record to. So on the multi-screen, and then there is a lot of information which can show you. Let me put it back into FX. Okay, all right, so I can record the 71 minutes for this. Okay, then, okay, I press record. On the record, then, okay, you will see on the multi-screen, and it's recording, and then now it's recording 7 seconds. I stop it. Okay, so now back into standby. It's pretty easy to set up. Okay, so now I'm already finished the recording. So the next part will be the most important part, is the program, is the effect. On the background, so BG is the background. So on the background, you can have like a lot of like maybe functions or transitions. For example, like maybe a dissolve, or maybe different transitions. But okay, wow, okay, it just only have X effect. No, because you can actually put up your own effect onto this screen, but you might need to go into the browser and then to choose which effect you want to put into these small screens. So okay, I will show you later. So key, what's that mean? So chroma key, or maybe picture in picture. As I said, because the chroma key is not working for this prototype, so I will show you different things. For example, like the picture in picture. So for example, like now, okay, I pick up like maybe a channel 1 and I want to put it into a picture in picture. So I can cut here, or maybe I can transist to dissolve out the picture in picture, and then I can choose maybe a different one, for example like this, which maybe it's not like maybe a very clear that, okay, yeah, maybe I just put it here is easier. So program out. Okay, so let's do it again. So maybe a transist, okay, or maybe sharp cut. And then at the same time I can choose shots, or maybe I can choose like maybe a different views like this, and then that is a picture in picture. And yeah, that is pretty easy to set up. And on here you can have sharp cut, you can have auto transist, you can have different speed, and those different speed you can actually change the speeds onto the browser. And also DSK and logo, because it's not working, I will not showing you. So what is about like the UTIL? The UTIL is some basic function which you can put it in. For example, like okay, you can choose like maybe the headphone level up, and then also the button brightness, and also you can format your card, which is no, okay. So, and also the network. Network is very important because as I said, more detailed functions, you can actually set it into the browser functions. So how can I set it up? And then first, okay, you can actually you can connect this onto a router. Then when you connect it onto a router, onto the control at the back on the onto the MCX-500, and then they will assign you a IP address. So if your computer, iPad, iPhone, or maybe even Android phone, and then is actually sharing the same Wi-Fi network environment, you can actually type in this IP address, and then you can go into the browser, which you can using that browser to control the whole setting, which is the same as the MCX-500. It's a virtual version of MCX-500, and also you can pick up some detailed functions onto that browser too, which I will show you on the next part. Okay, so and then okay, you can actually just like maybe set everything up onto here, but that is a very basic functions. So okay, that is it. That is the hard key functions and also the hardware setting onto the MCX-500. On the next part, we will going to talk about like the browser, how this browser is work with this system. So now I'm talking about like how the browser is actually working with. Okay, so now the setup is the same as before. We have two cameras input like this, and then okay, I have a router here, and then I have a MCX-500 and also a computer. So as I said, okay, if I want to get into maybe the browser mode, and then I need to connect it to a router. So when you connect it to a router, and then in the network, and then you will see once you connect it, and then the router will give you an IP address to your MCX-500. At this moment, this is 192.168.1.3. Okay, so then okay, I actually go into my computer. Make sure that your computer Wi-Fi is in the same pace from this router. So now I'm 125. Okay, 168 times 1 times 3. Okay, so now I get in it, and then you will see the panel is probably the same as the MCX-500. So okay, I can actually remote control this, and then to do the shots, and then I can do the transitions, and then I can set the okay. So during the transition, okay, so I can go to the program, and then I can do the mix. Okay, cut something else like that, and then so that means what that means is okay, for example, if you are schools, okay, or maybe if you have different rooms, and then you can put the hardware into one room, but at the same time if you share the same network, and then I can use my computer and then to control this MCX-500 remotely, so which is good, especially for schools, because you have like you have the control room here, but okay, you have maybe a backstage which you can using a computer to control everything. It's pretty easy, and then okay, so you can using one maybe rather than buying two. Okay, so at the same time, and then you can still set everything up like maybe the hardware. For example, like I press the program, and then press the record, and then I can record the system like here, and then okay, I can do the stream, and then okay, I can set my setup onto my video input select. I can actually just activate the different channels, and then okay, so that is exactly the same functions as I put onto this system. But at the same time, okay, I can probably go to maybe the setup, because in the setup you can actually set everything up, and then it can show you what's the input you are. For example, like okay, now SDI 2 and 4, and then is actually no signal. Output I can set like this up into 50i or maybe 50p, and then on the HDMI, SDI, and also video out, and also I can choose like maybe letterbox or something else. Multi-view I can do like maybe the same. Again, I can change into different formats, and then on the system, and then I can set the day, and on the network, and then I can do whatever I want, and then on the stream at this moment, because as I said, This is a Ustream. So what I can do is, okay, I can click my account and then I can actually set my resolutions and something like that. Title, because that function haven't been activated, so I cannot show you. Transition rate, and then that's free button. I can set like maybe the transition speed. For example, like, okay, maybe 2 buttons, and then I want to 1.5 like seconds. For this one is too slow, which I want to go into 4 seconds. Okay, then okay, and I can set these buttons functions, and then on the camera remote. Okay, because this MCX-500 you can work with the NX-500, and then you can do some setup with one remote. So because I don't have this, so I cannot show you. So and then at the end, yeah, the network reset. Okay, so and on the pattern, so let me switch it off the recording first. Okay, so on the pattern here, so you can set whatever you want. For example, like maybe in here I don't like some of the function. For example, like, okay, I can actually delete maybe one of this. Okay, maybe mix. Okay, I don't like mix. Okay, I delete it. Yes. Okay, so that is empty, done. Okay, so what I need to do is I press the empty and then I find the functions what I need. For example, like, okay, I still want to put it max. Okay, so I can get the function in. At the same time, on the effect, okay, for example, like there is 2 functions which I don't want, which is these 2. Okay, so I can go to move. I delete it. This, yes. I delete this one. Also, yes. Okay, so then when I done, at the same time, okay, I want to do maybe put it a chroma key here, which is maybe the AB here. Okay, so I can put this in. Okay, at the same time here, okay, what I want to do, maybe I still want to put maybe the original one, which is this one in. Okay, I can put this in. Pretty easy. So I can set maybe some light effects which I want to put it in, and then I can delete or maybe move some functions in, which is very important. And then you can have like maybe a new patterns of effect onto the hardware and also onto the browser too. So how easy like maybe the browser is, and then because I can actually also use my my iPhone to set it up too. So if you want to know more about like this MCX-500, please visit A&S website.